What is Svelte really good at? In this short video, we're going to go over a few of the features that make Svelte so popular with developers, including things like data binding, reactivity, and some really cool special components.
Well, basically, Svelte is a library for building components. Technically speaking, Svelte doesn't really generate a website for you, although it can create a single page application. What Svelte is really meant for is building UI components, little pieces of a user interface with interactivity. What's really nice about Svelte is that you can declare variables and then use them directly in your component like this. So here, let's call this count, and then I can use count directly in my component. This is Svelte's famous online REPL. It's really nice if you want to play around with Svelte. You can go to svelte.dev/REPL and start writing components right away. I use it all the time. So we can declare our variables right here. And then the variables are actually automatically reactive. So if I say something like increment, make a button and say on click, and then I'm just going to write a little function to increment this. We'll say count plus plus. Automatically, this function is changing the value of this variable, and Svelte is tracking that change and updating it in the DOM. So if you're familiar with vanilla JavaScript, this is quite complicated. It would normally require some event handlers and some DOM manipulation. And even if you use React in order to do this, usually you would need to break out some state. But in Svelte, they handle this automatically for you, which is really the first selling point of Svelte and what people really love about it. Svelte also has some great stuff like scope styles built in, so you can write your styles right in your component like that. But also it has some powerful features that I think are a little bit less known. Like for instance, I can say let color equal red, and then on my H1 I can write style color, and it'll apply the inline style for me. So this is something that's really unique to Svelte. It handles these sorts of common patterns, and it gives you syntax to make them really, really easy. Now to show you how powerful this can actually be, watch this. I can create input type equals color, and then bind the value of this input to my color variable that I just created. So this is similar to what I did with the count button. And now I've got this dynamic color variable, and look at that. I'm up to 11 lines of code, including white space, and I've got this pretty interactive interface right like that. Svelte's got other cool features, like for instance, watch this. What if I say if count, so that's only if there is the number is not 0, then I'll say svelte self, and I'll inject this component into the component. I need my closing tag there. And now when I click increment, it's now rendering this whole component again. So now that this is useful, obviously, you don't want to code anything like this probably yourself, but it just shows you Svelte has all these cool little tools for making really complicated user interfaces in a really simple and, I would argue, intuitive way. That's why I like Svelte, and I've been using it myself for a few years.
So you've just learned about some of the features that make Svelte one of the world's most powerful front-end frameworks today. And Svelte also has a really amazing back-end framework called Svelte Kit. Svelte Kit adds all these superpowers to Svelte, like powerful data fetching and routing and page layouts. And if you want to learn how you can use Svelte Kit to build out your Svelte application into like a full enterprise-grade website, check out the crash course on our channel.